Hi, Jake here, and we are going to talk about the June 2017 Hydro Edition Apocabox. In case you don't know, the Apocabox is a subscription box service that comes to your house every other month that's chock full of survival gear, bushcrafting gear, and skill challenges that'll help you learn survival skills. Well, this box is great for anybody who's into camping, bushcraft, survival skills, hiking, outdoors, pretty much anything you do outside of the house besides your job. The box is curated by Creek Stewart. He is a survival teacher out of Indiana, and each item either comes from him or something he's worked on or a skill that he has taught in the past. The first item to come in the June 2017 Hydro Edition Apocabox are these plastic dry bags. This is meant to put your gear in to keep them dry in case you're in a rain situation, a hiking situation, or if you're just around water and you don't want your stuff to get wet. These things are great for electronics or paper items like maps or survival books that you don't want to get wet because they'll get ruined. They've got this high visibility color on here with the Velcro here. We've got yellow and orange to work as a hook and loop system. And they've got the APOCA-DRY logo on the front. Like I said, they are clear so you can see through them. So this is great for looking at maps or any sort of information or trail information you might need, especially if you're going to be on water like rafting or tubing or something like that. They come in different sizes. We've got a giant one here that's almost like a gallon bag, maybe even a little bigger. And we have one here, it's about half of that size, maybe like 2 sandwich bags. And we have the smaller one here, and this one's a great sort of like pocket size. The way it works is you put your items on the inside of the bag, fold over there, fold over there, lay down the Velcro, and it's sealed. We even got a little rivet placed in here in case you want to tie it off to something or do some sort of lanyard work. It also has a little plastic lanyard here already, so you've got that. My only hesitation with these is I don't know how dry folding something over like this is going to keep the stuff inside. This is not for submergibles. This is definitely just in case you're caught in the rain, you're caught in some wave, you're caught in some rapids. Hopefully it'll keep your stuff dry. I don't think it's actually waterproof. These would also make great fire kits, or if you're gathering kindling for a fire later and you're going to be around water, maybe you could fill it up in this big bag. They're pretty heavy duty plastic, so I'm not worried about punching through. And you'll have dry kindling later that night. The next item in the June 2017 box is this Life Raft Survival Knife. It's got the yellow handle, high visibility. It's also hollow, so it does float. You take off the little plastic sheet that it comes with. You see here the blade. There's no tip to this. It's a rounded point, so if you are on a life raft and you drop it, it's not going to mar anything up, but you do have the sharp blade here. These are packed in life raft survival kits a lot of the time, and if you like to collect knives like I do, this is a pretty cool addition to your collection. I don't see people getting a ton of use out of this unless you do have a life raft kit or some sort of boat, something like that you don't want to puncture, but it's still a pretty cool item to have in the box. The next item to come in the June 2017 Apocabox is a similar looking item. It's a frog and fish gig. This is made with high gauge steel. It is kind of coated so it's not going to rust, and it's got these 5 sharp prongs here with little hooks coming out of them. And this is for frog or fish gigging, maybe making like a spear, getting your prey that way. It does require a wood screw, so if you do put this in your survival kit, make sure you pack a wood screw as well. But the stick goes in there, screw into the hole, and you got your gig. This is also high visibility, so if you are around water and it happens to fall out of your pack, hopefully you'll be able to see it a little bit easier with the sheath on. Pretty cool item. We have gotten a frog gig in the very first Apocabox, but I think that so many subscribers have signed up since the first box a couple years ago. A lot of us missed out on that frog gig. I think this is actually an even better one. Speaking of things that came in the very first Apocabox, we have this GRANGER'S G-Wax Natural Beeswax. This is for full grain leather, waterproofing. You can take just a little bit of this off and rub it onto your boots. You do a couple layers of these, maybe like 2 or 3, and this is going to help waterproof your boots. Fits perfect with the Hydro box. You might even be able to use this on the canvas messenger bag that came in the previous month's box, the Forager box. That would be great. This is another item. Something similar showed up in the first Apocabox. Like I said, I think a lot of us missed out on that one, myself included, so it's cool to get something like this. So the great thing about the June 2017 Hydro Edition Apocabox is we got 2 knives in it this month. The second knife is going to be this folding fillet and food prep knife. This is a real serious knife. It's got the strong leather handle here, very big, and a very long, very sharp fillet blade. As soon as this thing came out, I started seeing people online cutting their hands with this, trying to use it to prep fish in their own home. So fair warning, this is very sharp and it's a very thin blade and you might not see where you're cutting, so watch your fingers on this one. It does have a lock here as well, so the blade isn't going to slip. And I don't really eat a lot of fish, so I'm not going to use this at home, but this would be great in a fishing kit. It folds down and it's super heavy duty, so if you do a lot of fishing camping trips, this should definitely go in your kit. Part of me also wonders that for a fillet knife, if this might be too big. Like I said, there's a lot of handle here. I've got a pretty big hand. There's a lot of handle there. The blade is pretty long as well. So again, I wouldn't carry this in a backpack. It probably needs to go into a kit that you drive or take with you. But I wonder if it's too big, so let me know what you think. So continuing the Creek Stewart Pocket Survival Library is this new edition, and this is one of my favorite ones he's actually ever done. This one's got a long title. It's the Pocket Field Guide to Wilderness Survival Drinks, Teas, Coffee, Nectars, and Saps. What's cool about this one is this is the first full color book. It's 21 recipes that have been tried and true by Creek Stewart himself, and he shows you how to get the supplies to make the teas, the coffees, the drinks, and how to brew them, cook them, steep them, whatever. Like I said, there are 21 different recipes in here of things Creek has actually tried and liked, so this isn't just a smattering of drinks that he's come up with and he threw them into a book. This guy's had a lot of survival foods out there. He's tried it all. So it's kind of cool that he put together a list of his favorites. I don't know that I would pack this in my survival bag, but I do like to keep the survival library with me, so this might go in there. I can see this probably being a great kitchen edition, something you want to keep in your house. You can go out, find the supplies, and start testing these recipes yourself. I'll go ahead and read off a couple of the recipes. Let's see, we've got the roasted dandelion root coffee, which is something I've heard about. It tastes a lot like coffee. I do know the book is split up in 3 categories. There's like a hot drink section, a coffee section, and a cold drink section, which would be like teas. Let's see, we got chunga mushroom something here. Chunga tea, made from mushrooms. Wild grape juice. Wow, that's a cool one. What else we got? Mullein tea. Okay. Pine nettle tea. I've heard of that one. Birch twig tea. I think I got some birch trees outside. Might give that one a try. There's even a note section in the back of this. So if you make your own recipes, you can add them here. If you find one that you really like, you can add it. Or maybe you need to make a reminder to yourself not to try some of these that you don't like. He's done a bunch of these by now. I think he's pretty close to 6 or 7 of these. I'd like to see a box set release. So Creek, if you are watching this, let's get a nice round number and release the box set. So the next item to come in the June 2017 Apocabox is this collapsible minnow net. It's a trap for catching small like minnows or crawfish, and it expands outward like so. There you go. And it's got a little pocket here for you to place your bait. I wouldn't call this a survival tool in as much as I don't know that I would actually want to pack this in my bag. It's a little big, and I feel like bug out bags should be made for 72 hours worth of survival. If you're catching minnows and then fishing with them, I don't know if that really feels like 72 hours to me. Maybe it does in your area. Maybe that's what your survival plans entail. If they do, this might be a great addition to the pack because it is pretty light. Like I said, it is collapsible. They are handmade, which is kind of cool too, so they're very unique to Apocabox subscribers. Nice big item too, which is very cool, I think. So one of the last items that come in this month's box is the TARP Drain Rain Harvester. It's a bit of a tongue twister. And this is actually one of my favorite survival skills that I've learned. What you want to do is you take a large piece of tarp, you can drill a small hole in the middle, you set a rock on top, and as it rains or as the condensation comes in, all that water gathers at the bottom where the rock is and drips out into your container. Creek has went ahead and machined a way that you can add 2 rubber washers to the small hole that you make. It also has a bolt in there that's hollowed out so that you can get the water to go through there. And then it comes with vinyl tubing as well. So that way you don't have to hold whatever your vessel is underneath the hole. It pipes down into your vessel. All the little tools are here. I don't know that I would pack the entire kit in my bag. It is nice that it comes in this plastic bag with the instructions on the back, I would add. But plastic tubing, I think, is something that should be in a survival kit. There's a ton of uses for it, so if you don't have it, now you do, and you've got the little washer and nut set that's going to help that water drip down. No rock required for this one. And the last item that came in the 2017 June Hydro Edition Apocabox is this pine block. It's a sturdy pine block. It is a block made from pine wood. And I know you're thinking, why did he include a pine block in my Apocabox kit? You know, you pay about $50 for this. Why is there just a block of wood? What you're actually going to do with this block of wood is make a coal burned water container. What you do is you take the hot coals from your fire, you place it on top of the brick here, and you sort of move it around, blow on it until you've got a nice little hollow concave area. And that's a way to make a water containment unit out in the field if you don't actually happen to have one. I think this is a great survival skill because this is something that's you would need to normally pack some sort of water bottle, and if you didn't happen to have one, you couldn't scavenge one out there. Being able to make something like this is going to possibly save your life. So that pretty much wraps up the June 2017 Hydro Edition Apocabox. Like I said, I'm not much of a fisherman, so maybe some of these items aren't necessarily for me, but I can definitely get some use out of them. A lot of these will go in my kits. I do love the recipe book. Thanks for this. And you can check us out next month when we come back for the August 2017 edition of the Apocabox.